Okay, hey guys, this is part two to yesterday's video. So I'm in the hospital, laying up in bed. I had three CT scans, one MRI, and two uh, baby scanners, whatever they're called. You know, they scan your baby when you're having your baby. Well, I had that on my throat, and I had it on my heart. Turns out the two blood pumpers, whatever they're called, were clogged. It's not totally clogged. They were filled with goop, but they weren't closed. The doctor said they should open up and be fine, but they're unnaturally thin. I'm like, what do you mean unnaturally thin? He wanted me to get a stint put in, two stints. You cut your throat twice, open up the artery, and put a stent in there or something. And I'm like, no, if I'm taking a medication to degrease my blood, get the puke out, clean my pipes out, you know, I'm taking the medication for that. I'm taking the super baby aspirin. I'm take. By the way, everybody should be on baby aspirin. Period. Um, just to clean your pipes, keep the goop from clogging up your arteries. I had my arteries, my two arteries here were semi clogged. Plus, I had little veins, little arteries. That's what he said. He suggested I might want to. It didn't matter if he said it didn't matter if you had them cleaned or not. You're not in any. At this point, you're not in trouble. You're good to go. As long as you take your baby aspirins and the medications we give you. And that's basically what it was. He found out, but there was one other little pipe, one little other brain implant that got clogged up. Little tiny one in the back. And oh, that did me in for, it was back here. That did me in, and why I was in the hospital. So, with that said, that was pretty much the only thing that was wrong with me. No lung cancer, no tumor fucking mutating out. So we're all good with that. No, they took. I had no COVID tests. I took no virus, fucking antivirus, whatever the fuck it's called. So they did a virus test on me. They stuck a thing up my nose. First one came back inconclusive. Stuck a second one on my nose. It came back. I don't have COVID. Now, I don't have COVID means for 4 years out of all that hell that everybody went through, I didn't have COVID. I guess that's what it means because I don't have it. For all the fucking visor vax, what antivirus? What do they call that stuff? The can't remember. But anyway, you know you're supposed to get the four virus things. I ain't got any. I told them no, I don't want it. I'd rather die, and I would rather die. So fuck off. And they never said anything about it. It's like they knew. Really weird. Okay, now we're done that. Let's get on to the good stuff. I was laying there. This is spiritual stuff that happened to me. I want to talk about because man, it was insane spiritual stuff. Okay, I was laying in the bed, not being able to move. Well, I couldn't leave the bed. I had a trigger. I was there's a trigger bomb, so a pressure bomb. So if I moved up, took my weight off the bed, an alarm would go off, and all the nurses would rush in and strap me back down. So I'm fucked that way. So I had nothing to do but lay there. So one day, it's like the second day, I'm in my room and I'm half out, I'm half sleeping, and all of a sudden, spiritually, I see a priest and he's reading priest stuff out of a Bible or a book or something. And he's there, and around him are worshipers all around, all around him. And he's standing in there, and he's completing the circle. And then he comes up, but around me, normally, I have my people in St. Lucian and the Regent priest, and I'm with the Regent priest outside St. Lucian. And I got my kids, Tina's there, Christ is there, the Regent priest is there, and all of a sudden, I can see the Regent priest, I can see everything. St. Lucian, and all of a sudden, this priest, he comes walking in. Or not walking, it's like he floated in. He floated in, and everything, the Regent priest and St. Lucian disappeared. All I'm seeing now is a priest just standing there preaching at me, converting me, sort of. It felt like he was converting me, and I gave me a fucking panic attack. And I'm awake, consciously, but I'm laying in bed. I'm thinking, is this one of my fucking brain psycho trauma things from the seizure? And I'm like, fuck, just ride a wrist, just ride it. There's nothing you can do. Nothing changed. He's still preaching. There's a bunch of people standing around him, standing, completing a circle, and I'm in the middle, and I'm a patient in a bed, and I can see outside myself, and I can see outside myself. There's other people, other patients in beds. Assume where I was in the hospital. And he comes in and he's preaching away for about 5-10 minutes. By this point, he's converting me, or it seems like he wants to. His words are converting towards me. And I start to have a panic attack. And then I hook up I look up, straight up my inner light and all that, and I can see a tunnel going through this priest cloud that I'm in. I tell the region priest, I tell my kids, Tina, there's some preacher here. He's trying to convert me. I'm not really interested in any of this. Help me out, help me out. So all of a sudden the widens up. Christ comes through, and a region priest come through. They come down in the middle of this priest and all these people standing around trying to convert me, and they started talking to him. They're really mission oriented. Richard is from this place, that place, this place, and that place, and he's with Christ, and he's with the region priest, and he's not looking for any conversion at the time. So sort of thing like that. This is the way they're talking. I'm like, holy fuck, this is too much for me. I'm like, fucking funny. And all of a sudden, the conversation between them and the priest was done, and the priest started to leave, and he said he ripped out some big words. Oh, whatever. Fuck, I don't know. He ripped out the big words towards me, and I just brushed it aside. Yeah, go away. And they left. So that cloud was gone. It was like a cloud, like they were a cloud. It was like the people or the ministry and the priest preaching and his church was a big cloud, and it moved right in around me, and they were preaching at me. But through my head, I could still see St. Lucian. Fuck, it was weird. Then it passed on, and I was back to normal. Holy shit. That was one thing I got down. Ghost girl talking to. Oh, there's 2 or 3 times I was laying there. I had an IV in my arm. This IV needle thing they stick in your arm. I had it for a week. No fucking IV in the bottle half the time. No IV bottle. Just a needle stuck in my arm. Fuck. Drive you insane. Anyway, she come. I'm sitting there at the desk, and this ghost would walk in, and I'd be half asleep, just laying there with my eyes closed because I couldn't do anything all day. And she'd walk in. One time, I really saw her. She was checking my arm. She just looked like a normal student. She was checking my arm, and she was singing with headphones on. She was singing a song in her head. And she's like, la, 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 la. And all of a sudden, she went, yeah. And she went, yeah. And then she went back to my arm. And I'm like, holy fuck, am I tripping out? That freaked me out, man. This girl comes walking up to my arm. Seems to be a nurse taking care of whatever's wrong with my arm. And then she just stops. She starts dancing. Then she goes back to work on my arm. Totally unscripted from my point of view. I never would have perceived that unless it was real. That happened a bunch of times. Different people come in. There was one time two little kids sneak into the building, wake me up. Hey, you fucking asshole! Say, you old brick. shit like that, you know. Oh, you got it, you little fucker. So they can come in and tease me, then they take off. Pretty much did with everybody. But I don't know what else happened. Um, fat guy choose. Okay, so I go to move. I moved to a new bedroom, which is down the hallway, and this bedroom has a partner in it. So you get a dual bed. You get not a dual bed. You get your bed, a divider, and another guy. So this new guy comes in, and he's out of it. He's sleeping, and I see him, and he gets up. The nurse is he's really fucked up. I don't know what's wrong with him. I don't know his name or nothing yet. He just came in. He's sitting up. The nurse is helping him do something. And I look at him, and I can see part of him behind the curtain. And all of a sudden, I see his soul jump out. He bent over, and his soul went, wow, jumped out right almost at me. And it was a 14-year-old kid jumped out of him. This guy was 60 something, 60 year old. His soul jumped out, and it looked like he was 13. Freaked me out. I didn't say nothing to the guy, but just because he jumped out, then it went back into him. So that told me he didn't want to be there. He didn't want to be here. He didn't tell me directly, but meaningful representation was he wanted to leave. He wanted to leave the hospital. And he did. He made fucking sure of it. In the end, his name was Joe. So that was cool. That very same day, this happened. Joe's friends come visit him, and they're manly men, and one of Joe's friends is sort of a chubby guy, hockey, Toronto Maple Leafs hockey, totally my deal of a guy. So I ended up talking to him just a little bit, shoot the shit a little bit. And that was it. The next day, I heard Joe talking to his friend on the phone saying he might be over, he might come over, the fat guy, to visit Joe in the hospital. Joe's like, okay, cool. Just then, I walk outside to go to the TV room. This is weird, man. To go to the TV room, Joe was just talking to his friend, the Toronto Maple Leafs guy, about coming to visit him. I walk out of the room to Joe's in because I don't really know Joe yet. I turn to walk to the TV room. As I'm walking to the TV room, there's a bar where all the nurses hang out and do their shit. So there's nurses, there's staff typing and stuff like that. I'm walking towards that, and I want to go to see, look out the window, because early in the morning, there's a owl that's just in the tree. And I wanted to see if it was still there. So I'm walking past the nurses. The TV rooms are here, but the owl's way down there, down this. So I'm walking past. As I'm walking up to the nurses, I see Joe's friend. I'm looking. I'm going. And he's talking. He's talking to the nurse. I see him. He's talking to the nurse. And I stop. And I kept thinking, well, you were just talking to him on the phone. Why aren't you in the room with Joe? Why are you talking to the nurses? What the fuck is going on? You were just talking. He looks up at me. I didn't say nothing to him. I'm just standing there looking, trying to figure out what the fuck is this guy, Joe's friend, standing there. He's supposed to be in the hospital room. He was just on the phone with Joe in his room saying he may come visit him, but here he is. So I'm thinking, same fucking guy, same clothes as yesterday. I'm looking at him. I didn't say nothing. There's like 20 people, staff moving around. Girls, fucking hospital staff. The guy stops and he's leaning like this, talking to the nurse. And he stops and he looks at me. And he looked at me, dead in my eyes. And we stared at each other. I didn't know what to do. I was fucked up. And he didn't wave at me, which freaked me out because I met him yesterday. Same guy. All of a sudden, the nurse passed in front of him, or broke his attention and my attention, and it went back. I went past him. I went right beside him, looking at him. He was right there, looking at him. Right there, talking to the nurses. I went down the hallway to see if the owl was in the trees outside the trees. There's a big old long-eared owl, fucking great horned owl. So I went to see if it was there. It wasn't there. I turned around and I started coming back, and I just thought, well, the guy that stared at me went to Joe's room, and they're talking already. So fuck, I want to go in there and get my fucking breakfast because that's what's being delivered. So I walked by the staff area. The guy's not there. I figure he's in Joe's room. I walk in Joe's room. Joe's laying on the bed sleeping. I didn't understand what the fuck happened. I just saw his buddy. I didn't say nothing. I didn't do nothing. But I swear I saw the guy. That guy was fucking there and he stared right at me. And he's not there anymore. I don't know what happened. I don't know what was that about. What that was about. But freaked me out. Freaked me out. So this will be part 2 to video. All right. Part 3. It's gonna be about Joe. Part 3 is gonna be about Joe and a lot of a lot of the things that happened with Joe. Also, I have the fourth dream of the eggs. Turns out me and my buddy, I don't know who, went down to look at the eggs. We went down and we were looking at the amethyst eggs in a dream. This is a dream. Fourth. Turns out we're down there and there's pillars, hallways that went different directions. Four of them, I think. A lot of concrete. But we left the eggs there. And I don't know what the hell it was about. But the feeling I got was new beginning, new birth, rebirth from an amethyst to eggs. So the people that go into the hospital get cured and are let go, reborn. That's the energy that this hospital was giving off from these eggs, dream space. So there you have it. Okay, part 4, part 3 with Joe. Spiritual shenanigans. Okay, later, guys.